Good morning. It is 9:33. It is the 30th day of January 2021. We made it through the first month of this turbulent year. I'm ready to go back to sleep and wake up when it's 2022 because I am your grumpy guide to all things gaming, the OGGM. It is time for the Grump of the Week. Support me, Munster. I need a sponsor and I will sell out. Poison. So it's that time again where I sit on my porch and yell at you kids to get off my lawn and talk about in my day. So today let's talk about the Zoom D&D phenomenon. Because there was recently an article in the LA Times talking about, once again, the increased popularity of Dungeons & Dragons, especially during the pandemic, and the number of people playing Dungeons & Dragons has increased. Most of those being online games via Roll20, Zoom, Discord, D&D Beyond, Semograph, whatever. So, that said, I'm not in any of those games. Nobody's invited me to any of those games. And my personal experience so far with the online Zoom phenomenon has been pretty negative. So, because I had a bad time and the 2-3 Zoom D&D online games I played were utter disasters, I haven't played in one. No one's invited me in one. I haven't really thought about starting another one. And people have, of course, complained and said, well, you're a jackass and you're an asshole and you don't know what you're talking about. Zoom's great. And your bad experience is not justified because my experience was good. So I didn't talk about it for a long time because every time I seemed to bring it up, it was like, oh, well, I was saying like, oh, because you play D&D on Zoom, you're less than me, which is not what I was saying. I was saying that my experience was very negative. And there's nobody really doing gaming online where I live right now. So, yeah. But this article, of course, restarted the conversation, and recently somebody came up to me and said, well, why aren't you playing online? And I tried to explain to him why I don't play online, and they got mad, as if I was attacking them because they played online, instead of saying, well, this is why I don't play online. So let's once again address why I don't play online. Well, the first problem was the technology. At the beginning of the COVID, when everybody stopped playing face-to-face and started playing online, the computer I had lots of difficulties with the technology. Discord worked 30% of the time. So I got, usually out of every conversation I tried to have online with somebody via Discord, I got like 2 words out of every 10. Or Discord would just, disappeared completely. My computer had issues with Discord. We attempted to fix it. A very forgiving and intelligent individual talked me through working through the Discord and the settings and everything, and it got a little bit better, but there were still plenty of times when, especially if more than one person was talking, and I was like, dude, I have no idea what you just said. And then that was also using Roll20, which for whatever reason, again, didn't work on my computer at the time at all. 90% of the time, all I saw was a black screen. I had, no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't control the view. I don't know if it was the DM because he was using shading or my computer, but my experience was just negative. And again, because everybody was trying to talk at the same time and they couldn't see each other and we couldn't see what we were doing, it became very argumentative very quickly. And my trying to say things like, hey, I can't see where we are in the map, I can't hear you, became them hearing me complain instead of me saying, look, I'm having technological issues. My computer's having trouble with this format and I'm trying to explain it to you, but instead they attacked me. So then that game also fell apart for other reasons because basically the whole party was a bunch of murder hobos. The idea of role playing or actually trying to be heroes was completely alien to them. So that was my first issue. My second issue has more to do with the way my brain works. And my social issues and my issues with computers in general and the technology in general. And my feeling that this actually creates a barrier. It's much harder for me to connect with what's going on when I'm talking to this as opposed to when I was at a table talking to people because of my various learning disabilities and my headaches. Just everything about it just caused me to have anxiety issues, headaches. I couldn't concentrate. I couldn't hear what people were saying. I couldn't pay attention. I had trouble connecting with the game, connecting with the thing. I just felt more, there's times when, when I was in the other Zoom game where I would turn off the camera so I couldn't see myself. I would turn off the camera, I would put the screen down so I couldn't see them. So I figured maybe if I was just listening, but it was just awful for me and the way my head works. It was awful. So I got a new computer. Oh, cat. And, sorry, the cat just threw up. Yeah, you want to hear that. And it runs a little bit better, so we tried it again. We were just using Zoom and nothing else, no Roll20. But again, there were some issues with me seeing things, with people seeing things, with people trying to talk over each other, with people not understanding, what was going on, with people trying to get clarifications of what's going on. And again, it just seemed because there was the lack of personal connection that you get from a table, the players felt no connection to the game. So it quickly broke down into just murder hoboing and arguing with each other and nobody really understanding what anybody was trying to say, because even though we were seeing each other and even though we were hearing each other, this creates a barrier, an emotional, contextual, interactive barrier, which actually, and studies have shown this is true, actually makes it harder for you to connect with what's going on in the game as opposed to easier. It makes communication much easier, and it makes it easier for groups of people to get together. But that emotional connection seemed to be lacking. And because there was no emotional connection, no emotional investment, it's just much easier for the players to just fall back into that murder hobo, argumentative, I want it my way, I want it my way, insults started thing. And that game fell apart. And then the DM went fucking insane. It became a conspiracy theory Trump worshiper. But that's a different story. And again, we get back to my personal issues with the technology and the way my brain works. Now, if you use Zoom or Discord or Roll20 or D&D Beyond or whatever other magic computer program is doing the role-playing online and it works for you and you have no issues and it has made your gaming life better, great. I am not attacking you. I am not complaining. I am not saying you are less than me because you play online and I choose to play face-to-face. And if it's a point, and for me at this point, it's like really, if somebody asked me to play in a Zoom game, I'd give it another try. I'd be very tentative and I'd want to again set it up so it causes me the least amount of emotional and physical pain as possible. But I don't know if it's going to work for me yet. Playing face-to-face works for me. It's a lot easier for me to connect, and it's a lot less stress on my brain. Playing on the computer, very difficult for me. It's very hard for me to connect with what's going on. It's very hard for me to pay attention. It's very hard for me to classify and clarify, and it causes, anxiety issues, headaches, physical symptoms because my brain has so much problem processing all the noise, all the sounds, all the lights. I mean, even doing this, and I do this every day, part of the reason I drink this is because of the headaches I have. I have horrible migraines constantly. And the caffeine in this stuff helps a lot. And it has very few side effects as opposed to the meds they want me to take, which is basically poison. So once again, support me, Munster. I need a sponsor, and I will sell out, and I will tell people how great you are. Migraine go away. So because I had personal issues, Zoom, online, I don't even play video games that much. Didn't work for me, which is fine. But for some reason, I said this, hey, this is really difficult for me. And people heard, I fucking hate you and I fucking hate your game. Let me whip my dick out and pee all over you because you like Zoom. So, because there was this article saying that the number of people playing D&D has increased, which is weird because the number 2 role-playing game right now is Call of Cthulhu, and they didn't mention that at all, and D&D sales are down. But online, Critical Role, ooh, Stranger Things, God, let it go. So people were like, well, how come you're not playing Zoom right now? And I'm like, well, no one's asked me. There's no Zoom games going on that I know of anywhere that I live. D&D is pretty much, gaming is pretty much dead in Ventura, and the game stores here aren't helping that. And 2, my previous experiences were negative. The technology didn't work for me. Even on this new computer, the technology is definitely something that doesn't really work for me. Machines and it just doesn't work. They hate me. And emotionally, mentally, anxiety, brain, the way my brain works, it was very difficult for me. And it was that much harder because that connection that people have with the game when they're sitting at the table didn't seem to be there. And because it wasn't there, it was much easier for the game to just break down and the players to just go, oh, fuck it, I'm just going to kill him. Or start arguing amongst themselves, because this is a wall, an emotional, contextual investment wall. And for everybody who says it makes the game much easier for me and much better and I'm enjoying it much more, there are at least 2 people who have the same experience with, like, I feel no connection. I don't really fucking know what's going on. Fuck it, I'm just going to kill people and argue with people because I'm secretly upset. So that is why I am currently not playing Zoom. Now, if somebody contacted me and said, hey, you want to try gaming with me on Zoom? I'd give it a try. I can't think it's going to work for me, but I'd be willing to give it a try. I've got a better computer now. I know more about, the issues technologically and how to fix them. I now know what it is that does set me off and doesn't set me off, so I could set up the Zoom experience to be the most beneficial for me. So I might enjoy it. It might be okay, or it might be a disaster. I don't know. I'd have to try. But right now, I'm not in any, and it's not anything bad about the environment. If you're having a good time using the environment, great. I didn't, and that's okay. It's okay that I didn't. I'm a freak. But I'm not attacking you, so please stop. You want to complain about something that I'm talking about, complain about the other shit that I talk about. Don't complain about the fact that I don't play on Zoom. Anyways, that's the Grump of the Week. If you appreciate this content, you know what to do. Hit that notification button, comment down below, like this vlog, or unlike this vlog, because apparently the algorithm doesn't care. And subscribe if you haven't had a chance to subscribe yet. Help me hit 500 subs by August 4th and the legendary 1,000th subs. And I will talk to you later. Who's zooming? Who zoom, zooming, zoom, zoom, whom in Zoom?